Okay, hi boys. Alright, so today we will continue to the next topic. We will learn the topic of we will continue the topic to determine suitable data representation, histogram, and also a frequency polygon. And what that is a very important that we need to do and not to do when we draw or construct a graph. Okay, so the first thing, all right, so this is a summarize that what we already learned between the five graphs that we already know, all right? So this is the advantages and also disadvantages that you should know for every for every graphic representation. All right, so from this one, right, bar chart, right, the advantages is easy to draw and it's easy to compare the differences between two classes, but the disadvantages is difficult to make comparison of each class with the whole data. Right, the pie chart, right, this is the advantages for pie chart. Easy to make comparison among the different categories and of each category to the whole data. And for disadvantages needs to find the size of each angle, means you need to calculate, will take a little bit time, and not suitable if there are many classes. Alright, why? So the pie chart will have a lot of calculation and your graph so become your pie chart or angle of sector becomes smaller, right? So it's hard to label it. Right, so next one is the line graph. Okay, so advantages for line graph is easy to draw and read, and also it's easy to spot the trend of movement of data over a period of time. So you can see, right, from the graph, you can see what is the trend of the data. And it also can be used to forecast future data values. So that one you can see from the example of the COVID data right now, right? So how many person that sembuh yang dapat, so that they can know what can be done in the future, right? Right, but for disadvantages for line graph, it's only applicable to time-related data. Difficult to make comparison of each class with the whole data. And the next one is a dot plot. Dot plot is easy to draw and read. Easy also to compare the differences between two classes, but it's not suitable for large set of data and usable only for discrete data. Discrete data, remember, only that for whole data, right? If the have a decimal or what fraction is a very hard to make the using a dot plot. Right. One is a stem and leaf plot. A stem and leaf plot easy to draw and read, and original data values are maintained. And it's difficult to make comparison of each class with the whole data. This one also same like a dot plot, usable only for discrete data, right? Okay, what if, alright, sometimes they have a question that have a continuous data, right? Have a decimal number. It can be also the decimal number. So that one you must be careful how you want to arrange and put, whether at stem or at left section. Right. So we continue for the next one. Alright. So next one is the interpreting data representation. Right, so interpreting data representation, we will learn the first one is the histogram. Right, histogram, if you see the diagram of an histogram, it's similar to a bar chart. Right, similar with the bar chart. Usually, it's more similar to the vertical bar chart, right? And it represents a group data. Okay, all the same level, but if you see the on the horizontal axis label as class interval, midpoint or class boundary, but okay, only for this one no spacing between the consecutive rectangular bar. If you see the bar chart, they have a space between one graph and another graph. But for histogram, no spacing between it. But they have a space between the first value here and the first graph, and you must leave it a space at the behind here, right? So this one I'm missing the arrow, right? So please draw an arrow at here. Right, so this is an example, right? How you want to construct a histogram based on the following data. Right, so given to you the height and number of trees, alright? So the height of trees and how many trees that have a height between this value that given to you. So this one, how you need to draw it. Okay, so I will go to the whiteboard to make you see, right, how to construct the graph. Yeah, just here, hold on, I will project you to the whiteboard to make sure you understand. Right, it looks similar how you want to draw the bar chart. Just similar like you draw a bar chart. Alright, the first thing that you have to do is draw the vertical and see, I'm not using a ruler because if I'm using a ruler, it will take a lot of time here. Right? But in exam, you must use a ruler. Okay. If I use a ruler like this, right, the first thing, draw a vertical bar chart like this. Then what you need to do is extend here, then you turn around and draw the horizontal line. Okay, done. Okay, what's the next that you need to do? Okay, the next one, what you need to do is you must define. Okay, you must define the skill. It's just similar like you draw a bar chart, right? Okay, you must define what skill that you want to use. Alright, either you want to use one boxes 5 or directly two boxes equal 10, but you cannot choose one square equal 1. So your graph will be very large. Alright, so this one I put as this one is the 10. Continue with the 20 here and this one 30. Then do not forget put arrow as the last one. And this one also don't forget. You must keep the value of the origin. Okay, so just write 0 here. Alright, next one, label the value that given to you in the horizontal axis. But make sure when you want to label it, you must have, okay, you must have leave it this one. No any value, right? Make sure the first one there cannot have put any graph. Sometimes can if the value start from 0 to 10. If the start level that given to you starting from 0, then you can start at that. But this one, it starts with the 100 to 199. Alright, if you see the data given to you, the data is the first data height is the 1 until 199. Alright, so this one also same like we draw the rectangle bar chart, means you must have the same width, right? Custom width. You do not have the different width between one graph to other graph. Okay, so this one must have the same width. Okay, so we start. The first height number of trees is 20. So label here. Yeah, just right. So I started this one. Then this one. So I write down here 100. Oh, over. That's very less. 100. Okay, then we see the next value. Right, number of trees are 25. Right, so 25. So you must find where is the 25. Right, because this is a graph paper, not very accurate, but usually if you count 5 here, so you will get at the middle here that you draw. Right, make sure do not have any space between this 5. Then don't forget to write down the level 200 until 299. Right? Next one, the values is 30. Right? 30. So you just extend the line of the values and draw it. Okay, draw this one. And please write down the value 300 until 299. Okay. And the last one is 15. Right, so 15 between 1. Alright, if you using a graph paper, you must count correct where is the correct line here. Example this one, so this is and write down the label 400. Okay, but don't forget when we want to draw a histogram similar also with the bar chart, please write down the name of the horizontal axis and also the name of the vertical axis. Alright, so this one, the name is height. And, and this one, number of, okay. And the title is height of trees in a garden. Okay, height of a garden. What if you want to erase this line? Yes, don't worry. This line you can use to make sure you level at the correct point or correct value. So if you want to grab this, please carefully here. Okay. Alright, so don't forget this one must have the arrow. Right, so we done the to draw the histogram graph. Okay, so you can see, right? But usually in a histogram graph, the question can ask you the question. Sorry, the sometimes can ask you the question. You can see the example that I give to you, right? Okay, you see the first one, construct histogram. You can follow like this one, right? You've done it. Then the question asks you, okay, all right. This is a different question. Right, the question asks you, which classes has the highest frequency? All right, for this graph, the graph shows you the histogram graph for week per hour of bank employees. Right, wages per hour, ringgit measure, and frequency, and this is the data. Right, the question asks you to find which class has the highest frequency. So this one you can see on the graph, right? With the histogram, you can find directly the answer, but sometimes you need to calculate, right? Depend on the question that given to you. Right, like this one, which class has the highest frequency? So from this one, we just see which on this graph has the tallest rectangular bar. Right, so you can see between 30 and 40. So you just answer, right? 30 to 40 class has the highest frequency because of 30 to 40 has or less rectangular bar. Right? If the question asks you a reason. Right, the next one. Find the percentage of employees with wages per hour of more than 50. Right? More than 50. So 50 to 60. So you must count this one. How many? This one is a 10, 11, 12. Right? So 50 plus interval between 50 to 60. They have a 12, and between frequency between 60 to 70 is this is 5, 6, right? So total employees, how to count the percentage, right? Percentage means the value that you need over the total number here times with 100. Okay, so frequency that you want to find is 12 plus 6. But the total employees here, you just plus the all the data here. This is 9, this is 15, this is 22, this is 16, 12, and 6 here. You plus everything, you will get 80, right? So you need to find this one. Sorry, the percentage more than 50 is a 12 plus 6 over total 80 times 100%. So the answer is 22.5%. Right? So that is the answer for how many percentage of employees wages power more than 50. Right? Understand? So usually they have a lot of questions like this in a exam. Right? Sometimes either in a histogram or uh, Histogram or frequency Polygon. Okay, so now we will go to the frequency Polygon. Right, so for frequency Polygon, okay, hold on, I open this frequency Polygon to make see the notes for today. Right, now I forgot English to the next note here. This is frequency Polygon. Right, so what is the frequency polygon? Alright, so frequency polygon closely related to histogram, right? And it will connect all midpoint at the top end of each rectangular bar in a histogram with straight line. Okay, must use a ruler. Remember, right? Connect the point between point at the midpoint of the graph using a straight line, including the two classes before the first class and after last class, which have zero frequency. Right, example like this one. This is the graph that you already carried in the exam. Okay, or you need to draw. Right, usually in exam they have a question. You must draw the first is a histogram first. Then you must find the frequency polygon for the graph. Okay, so how you need to do? First, you must draw the histogram bar chart. The histogram graph like this. Okay, like I teach you the previously. Then after you get it, the graph for histogram, right? Remember, must have the vertical axis, have an arrow, horizontal axis. I will also label the data here for each one of these. Name for vertical axis and horizontal axis, and also must have the title. Alright, after you get this one, okay, after you get this one, okay, so I show to you, oh, sorry. I show to you the graph like this one. Okay, so like you get this one, right? Okay, so you get this one. This is the graph of the histogram. Okay, so for this one, you must find the midpoint of this graph. Okay, so this one you just see where is the middle or the midpoint of the line. Okay, so for this graph here, for the first graph, this one, the middle midpoint of the graph is here. So you just label. It's better you label as x. Oh, sorry. You label as x. And find the second midpoint on the second graph here on the top of the bar. Okay, the third one is here. Make sure this one you must draw carefully. Okay, okay. The intersection of x must at the correct place. So this one not very actually. Okay, and the fourth. Okay, done. Alright, but you see the frequency polygon. Read again the term of the frequency polygon. Right. You the midpoint including the two classes before the first class. Where is the midpoint? So this one is the before the first class and the last the midpoint after the last class. So that one also you must mark as a X. After you get this one, so take your ruler, connect all points at the graph that you already get it. Right? Start from the first point on your left here. Okay, so for this one, you just take this like this. Then you just connect the line between it. Okay, then continue the second and the third X here. Then you connect it. Make sure you do it this one properly. Okay, done. Okay. Right. Then and make sure connect with the last up. Right. So this one we call it as frequency polygon. Right? It looks similar like this one. Okay, so you can see, right, the red line here and the mark of X, we call it as frequency polygon. But sometimes they have a frequency polygon do not have the rectangular bar chart like this one. This one is directly marked at the middle of the level on the horizontal axis. You see, right? This at the middle here, right? The time taken for the participant of a charity grant, right? The participant that take for 50 minutes to finish the line. Zero. Don't have any participant can finish in a 15 minutes. Alright, but 30 they have about 1, 2, 3 participants can finish charity ride in the 30 minutes. Then continue with this one. It can be like this, means frequency polygon, right? Don't have a bar chart. But sometimes the question can ask you, right? Given to you the frequency polygon here, please draw a histogram for according the frequency polygon that's given to you. It can be like that, right? So please be careful. Okay, so the graph that I showed to you that do not have the don't have the don't have the bar chart. All right, the question can ask you, right? Describe the distribution of time taken by the participants. Sometimes you must define or make the inference, make the inference. right? According to the graph, right? The graph or the diagram that given to you, right? So you must describe this one. Describe the distribution of time taken. Okay, so you can explain like this. Most of the participants took 45 to 75 minutes to finish the run. So you can see the highest number is between 45, but they have a 60 become lower. Still, they have about 10% also. So you can make the interference like that, right? Most of the participants took 45 to 75 minutes to finish the run. So this one you must think carefully to answer the question. Right. Next one, calculate the percentage of participants who finished the run in not more than 60 minutes. So you must find not more than 60 minutes. Alright, but usually this one, if given the question asks you not more than 60 minutes, you must include the value before this one also. Okay, so number of participants who finish run in 30 minutes is 3, 45 is 12, 60 is 8. Alright, what about 15? 15 don't have any participant that finish on 15 minutes, so this one not include, right? Okay, so total participant, you just plus all everything here, you will get 40. So the percentage that run not more 60 minutes plus this 3 plus 2, 12 plus 8 over total participant times 100. So you will get 57.5%. Okay, right. So so we already done the frequency of polygon. So I hope you will do the exercise that I gave to you, right? But okay, for draw or construct the graph, okay, sometimes they have a misleading for statistical graph. Okay, but the very important that you need give attention is the scale must be consistent and start from zero. The data must accurate, cannot plus minus one. So you must count even the small boxes carefully. Alright. And for graphic, must have the appropriate ratio, like I say, 1 ratio 5 or 2 ratio 10. Okay. And the unit must proper for both axes. And also, right, the very important, like I say, right, I already repeat, remind you, label the value for horizontal axis, vertical axis, name of the horizontal axis, vertical axis, draw using a straight line using a ruler, and each graph must have a title. Right, so please be careful of all that. The important when you want to do to construct the graph. Okay, so that's all the topic for today. So we already finished for this chapter. Right, please do the exercise. All right. So if you not understand, you can personal PM me. Okay, so I will see you next time. Bye.